And welcome to the Great Author here on Intellectual Radio. And I'm your host, Dr. Anthony L. Gant, again here on IntellectualRadio.com. This is an iHeart station. And we're here on the Great Author Show where we interview great authors from around the country on different books they have written or been a part of. And again, I'm happy to be here with you again on the Thursday evening. And this is what we do. We put people on the spot, the people that you should need to know about and books that you should read and get from the actual authors to help you out in your life as well. So you know how I always start my show. Again, I'm welcome. I'm glad you're all here. You can be doing something else with your time. However, you decide to be here with me. So I'm going. I have to share with you some of the things that we have going on. Again, we have some events going on, and this show is being sponsored by sponsors is unknowngreatness.com, where you can go there and you can purchase books from various authors from around the country, independent authors on their books. Another sponsor we have is the Helping People Win. Helping People Win, they sponsor all our seminars and showcases that we do on a monthly basis. Also, another sponsor is Love to Learn Center, and they sponsor all our workshops and classes that we do. And so those are some of the sponsors that we have. And then coming soon, one of our sponsors is going to be Achieving Lasting Greatness. This will be an online school, Achieving Lasting Greatness Academy. So be looking out for that, and I'll give you more details on that. What we have coming up in the next few weeks: April 13th, 2019, a Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30. We have a business show. I will be doing a seminar, and also it would be uh, some other people there that you can meet with and network. The business showcase will be I'll be doing a seminar on promoting your business, so you should be there. Get there exactly 2:30 because I start on time there. The next one is April 27, 2019. That's a Saturday between 2:30 and 5:30. That's a speaker showcase. I will be doing a seminar on how to be a paid professional speaker, as well as I have some other speakers there I'll share the stage with as well. May 4th, 2019, that's a Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30. We'll do a business showcase again. I'll be doing a seminar on there too, most likely on branding. And then May 18th, we'll be doing another one on Saturday. That's an author showcase. I'll be doing some things on how to publish a book, a seminar on that. And then I have some other authors doing their thing. June 8th, 2019, a Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, another business showcase. And then June 22nd, 2019, Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, another author showcase. And so those are our showcases that we have going on. They'll be held at 4900 South Lakeshore Drive uh, at Lakeshore Hotel. All of our showcases are held there. You know, they're all on the same time. I will let you know about our our fall conference coming up this fall. Well, we're going to have an independent book conference, author conference, as well as I'll give you the whole schedule for our conferences that we have going on from uh, September to next August of 2019, 2020. So you get a lot of information. I try to always stay 6 to 12 months ahead. If you want to get interviewed on the show, you can definitely get in contact with me. However, I don't have any spots available until July. Right now, I have July through September available, and they will go fast. If you want to get interviewed on my Thursday show or my Monday show, so get with me and you'll find out about that. Make sure you take a listen to the Sunday show that we have, A Greater You. We're coming out the book, Becoming a Better Me. You can purchase the book for Unknown Greatness. We'll be talking the whole month of April on how to become a better person. The Monday show is a great entrepreneur show. I want you to be looking out for that too. So let me give you some of our promotion partners that believe in what we do here and believe in helping you. If you need something done with your accounting or your finances, taxes, insurance, and education, Madison Financial Solutions, Carla Madison. Her number is 773-239-6100. That's 773-239-6100. If you want to do some other things with your insurance and investments, you want to contact Miss Lynn Ross. She's at 773-680-2391. Again, 773-680-2391. If you want some Shackley products and you want to get more in tune with your health, you want to call Deb Velaris, and she's at 630-420-2119, 630-420-2119. And if you want to get some books published, you can contact BW Publishing, and ask for Ben Williams, and he's at 708 746 4688. 708 746 4688. If you're looking for a loan, a mortgage, refinancing, you can contact Aubrey Locke. He's a senior loan consultant at Key Mortgage. His phone number is 708 439 3632. 708 439 3632. If you want to travel, you want to contact Emmett Farm. He's with Surge 365. He's at 773-908-9425. That's 773-908-9425. If you want to be involved and need some things done at UPS, you can go to contact the UPS store at Lake Meadows Shopping Center. Uh, their number is 312-567-9090. If you're looking to a barber in the city of Chicago, you contact Andre. He's at 122 East 35th Street in Chicago. The number is 312-326-5555. 312-326-5555. If you want something from Mary Kay, you want to contact Verhonda Hurden, and she's at 773-405-8792. 773-405-8792. Sorry about that. And if you're looking for a speaker, author, or expo and owner, Miss Erica Gilchrist, if you're a woman and want to be involved with some very empowering women events, she's the lady to contact. She's at 866-443-6769. 866-443-6769. And if you're looking for an MC at any of your events, you want to contact Tracy James. She's at 708-269-6593. 708-269-6593. So I went through my preliminaries there. I must give my partners some airtime and make sure I announce them because they do definitely promote what I do and love what I do for people in regards to helping other people. So enough of that, enough of those events, enough of them right now. So we about to that was the appetizer. Now we're about to get to the meat and potatoes of this particular situation that we have going on today. And today I have an author. She was one of the co-authors in the book You Can Make It Too. Um, as you can see here, You Can Make It Too. She's a co-author in the book. An awesome lady. And Pastor Verita Quinn, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, thank you for being so nice and listening to me go to all those announcements.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So this is your first published work. Did I have that right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so you wrote in the book, you can make it too. Book of inspiration. It's under the Inspire Me collection, which is a collection I'm very familiar with. But
Yes.
so you are in chapter 9
Yes.
of the book, and so tell us who you are. And so before we get into more about what you wrote about, but tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, I am Verita D. Quinn. I am the pastor of an outreach ministry, that's Remnant Ministries, and I am currently an elder at Cosmopolitan Community Church, which is at 52nd and Wabash in Chicago, under the pastorate of Dr. Eric Clotton. I kind of wear a variety of hats, but first and foremost, besides being a child of God, I am a wife of 36 years to Sam Quinn Jr. and the mother of Deron Montgomery, Deshaun Quinn, and a surrogate mother to a niece cousin of mine named Paula Bingham. And I do things. I do outreach to minister to the hurting and mostly women, but it covers all. And I do comfort ministry. A lot of times people look at comfort as a grief thing, but grieving does not just consist of people that are grieving death. There are a lot of different areas that they grieve in. And so I also incorporate that into my ministry, and I host that at my church once a month. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I grew up on the north side of Chicago in Cabrini Green. I went to the University of Illinois in Champaign. And now I am in full-time ministry. I retired from the high school district in Richton Park, where I was a teaching assistant and a family resource coordinator. And I love working with young people. So everything, it just follows me wherever I go.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, well, we're gonna get into some of the things that you wrote in the chapter, and I know some things about you, and I want some other people to know some of the things you do. Um, let's talk about. We're gonna talk about two things primarily. We're gonna talk about
Hmm.
what you wrote, and also talk about grieving as well, because I like how you said that sometimes grieving, is a large span, and sometimes people think it's just in one place. So
Right.
let's talk about the grieving part. What is grieving, and what is that actually? When you say grieving, what are you saying?
Well, what people think of in terms of grieving is that they're sad, they're hurt about the status quo. Thinks that because a loved one has made their transition and they're no longer here.
Hmm.
But people don't understand that death is not the only thing that brings about grief. And the world calls it sometimes depression. And when I was developing this, I was shown through the Spirit of God that that's not the only thing it did. People can be going through a transition of having lost a job. People could be going through a transition of having had a bad diagnosis or dealing with a health issue. They could be going through a bad relationship, wayward child. It's a number of things that cause people to grieve, and they really don't understand that that's what they're doing. Like I said, they take it as the world says that they're in depression, and they want to give them medication for it. And a lot of times, even when I was dealing with young people in school, all they need is an outlet to be able to express how they're really feeling about the situation that they're going through, and it can make a difference. It can relieve them of whatever it is that they're dealing with without having to be medically induced into feeling like this is the only way that I'm going to be able to come up out of this. A lot of young people decide to self-medicate, and we all know what that is. But and that's what I deal with. I deal with that, and I deal with it through scripture-based answers, and it's part of my ministry.
I like that. That's good. That's good. I like that. I'm glad you emphasize so many different ways that people can feel like they're going through grief. So that because people need to understand that, because if you don't understand what you're going through, it's kind of hard to solve it or heal it because you don't understand what
Right,
it is. So
right,
that was very
and
good.
a few of the stages of grief that people don't understand. You can be angry. You can break out into laughing and not even know why you're laughing, and you feel like I shouldn't be laughing, I should be crying. You can break out into crying and you don't even know why you're crying, and you feel like it's really nothing wrong, so why am I feeling like this? And so it's okay. It's okay. Like I just shared with someone whose daughter passed away. She said, I don't understand why I'm feeling like this. And I said, well, tell me how. And she was like, on one hand, I want to be angry. And then the other hand, I want to be sad. Then I want to just, and she was going through this myriad of emotions. And I told her that's all a part of the stages of what they call grief.
Hmm.
And it's natural. But people don't think it's natural, and they think it's something wrong with them.
Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. I'm glad you're gonna have a book come out on that. I'm sure soon, right? Thought I just throw that out
it'll
there.
probably be it'll probably be incorporated into the book that I'm working on.
Good, 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 good. Okay, so let's talk about your
Excuse me.
chapter that you wrote
Okay.
in the book. You can make it too. Again,
Okay.
it's chapter 9 in the book, and
Mhm.
so let's talk a little bit about what was the inspiration for you writing what you wrote in the book, and I mean, why did you write it? And let's tell us a little about it for those who don't yet have the book, but I'm sure they're going to want to purchase it from you once they hear you talk about it.
Well, to say the inspiration was, there was a friend of mine who, besides the fact that I knew in my spirit I was supposed to be writing a book, but a friend of mine kept calling me and saying, "Have you ever thought about writing a book?" And so, it was like I knew it was time, but I didn't know how to go about it. Didn't know, what to do. And I really had started writing some stuff early on, probably about 10 years prior, but I just tucked it away somewhere. And it was a thing that it kind of gnawed at me, because I dealt with young people, especially young ladies, who had been through what I've been through. And I remember early on in ministry, I asked the Lord, I used to ask the Lord, why did I have to go through this? And it was because there were going to be young ladies that came across my path that I would have to minister to, but I couldn't tell them, I know what you've been through, if I haven't been through it. Mm-hmm. And so when I began to understand that part, then I was really able to get delivered from what I was feeling, because it was not something that I had thought about for years. It was buried in the deep recesses of my mind, because it was something that in our society, it was shameful. And I never told anybody about it. And I'm like, how am I supposed to write about this? And I've never told anybody about it.
Right.
My parents both went to their graves not knowing about this.
So let's before you get a little bit deeper, so people can know, because your chapter is entitled "Walking Through the Process," and I like that title. Mm-hmm. And your original quote, just in case you all gonna use a quote, make sure you give a credit. Now, I'm using people quotes, don't give them credit. But your quote is,
absolutely,
going through the processes in life is what we need to complete the pieces of the puzzle that will give us the complete picture we need for our purpose and destiny. I like that. So,
right.
So tell us now. Let's go a little bit deeper into when you say, "Hey, if something had happened to me and my mom and dad went to their grave never knowing," I mean, what could that have been? With that, tell us about what that is, and tell us your story.
At the age of 10, I was molested by a family member, and I really didn't understand what was going on. And as getting older, you always think that did I do something wrong? And it was an older family member who was supposed to be babysitting me and my brother, and that it turned out to be much more than a babysitting job. He wasn't babysitting. He came to check on me and my brother for my parents, who were at an event that wasn't far from the house, and he was there too. But he kind of volunteered to come in and check on. So that was my first incident. And then when I was in high school, my quote unquote boyfriend's best friend tricked me into coming to his house, because my boyfriend was waiting for me there because he was getting ready to leave town and he wanted to see me. And then unfortunately I was raped. So all of these things are things that at 15, I thought about what happened to me at 10. And it was like, I can't believe this is happening to me again. And it was crazy. And I never talked to anybody. When I was 15, I didn't talk to anybody because I thought I was going to get in trouble because instead of coming home from school, I went to this person's house, and I should have been on my way home from school, and I wasn't. So that was trouble. At 10, because of the age, I was confused, didn't know what was going on, but I knew that it wasn't right. And my fear was, if I told my mother and father, my father would get in trouble because I knew what he would do to this man. So I kept all of those things to myself until I was about, I want to say about 30, between 30, 35 years old.
So so obviously you've been through it. We all have things that happen to us when we're young. I'm a firm believer that when we don't talk to people, because obviously in some communities, we have things happen, we don't talk to nobody.
Right.
If you talk about it more than once, even though you're an adult, people say get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're 35 right now. I mean, didn't that happen to you at 15? Come on, get over it.
Absolutely.
So I think we're afraid to talk about things, and I think that's what hurts us so, because we don't usually find people that we can talk to get this out. And I think, a psychology term is called arrested development.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
Right. And what that actually means for the audience who may not know, it means that really you're still in the place where you got hurt at 10, 15, even though you might be 35 or 40.
Right.
So you're stuck there, even though you got bigger.
And
I'm sorry.
Right. No, but you know what? I didn't mean to cut you off. But you know what? At 35, I didn't feel like I was stuck there. And how it came out was I was at a service. I went to a service in a little small church, and the minister that was ministering, she made a statement that there's somebody in this room that's been molested or raped, and you've never told anybody about it, and you need to be delivered from that.
Wow. And that's
when I was like, wow.
You talking to me. Right.
Because I sat there for a minute. I didn't move because I was like, ain't nobody else moving. And she said it the second time. I knew it was like I just knew in my spirit that was for me. And I went up for prayer. But but up until that point, it's like I said, it was in the deep recesses of my subconscious mind. And I didn't think about it. Like some people go through their life when they dealt with something like this, they think about it on a regular basis. I didn't. I was living I was living in denial that it had ever happened to me.
Right, I can see.
And a lot of young ladies that I've talked to, they, like they say, they became promiscuous or, and stuff like that. And then I know some that have had it happen to them and they've gone over to the other side. They become lesbians or whatever. But I never entertained the thought because it's something I wanted to bury. I didn't want to think about it anymore because it was unpleasant.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. I think with anything that happens, and when we get taken advantage of, misused, mishandled, sometime again we want to just say forget about it. I'm good.
Right.
I'm straight.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, that happened 10 years ago. I'm good. And the reality is that we're not good. Right.
Right. Absolutely.
We really need to get that taken care of, and a lot of times we don't know how. So that's one reason why I like your story, and I think it was apropos, in the book called "You Can Make It Too," that people can see that you can still make it. So let's ask this question: how did you keep it a secret for so long? Well, we know why you didn't tell your dad, because your dad would have had to be answering to a number instead of a name. Vita, right? So you know why you didn't tell. It's like his number been he's person 255-18-1, right? But so you didn't want that to happen. So how did you keep it a secret from maybe friends, and or spouses and children. Um,
We never, well, like I said, it's not something that I ever talked about, that I ever wanted to talk about. The first time I ever actually really talked about it to anyone was when to my husband that I'm married to now. But when I found out he wanted to marry me, I felt like he needed to know.
that's good. That's good.
I felt like he needed to know. And once I shared it with him, and one of my son knows, the other one still doesn't know. Well, he knows now because of the book, but my one son knows because the service that I shared, that I went to, where I was ministered to, he saw the video, and I didn't think about it. He was watching the video with me, and I didn't think about that. I had never shared that with him, and so we talked about it after he saw the video and stuff. But it was like, as far as my friends and when I was growing up, it's not something that I didn't know anybody, I guess I didn't have any friends that had went through anything. And if they did, they were like me. They didn't talk about it. So that's a subject that never came up.
Right.
And so it just never did. The only thing is that after I told my husband about it, we were getting married, and I was going into, it was shortly thereafter, and I had to sit down, and I might be getting ahead of you, so I'll wait and I'll tell you that part later.
No, go ahead.
I had to sit down because the person from when I was 15, I didn't know if he was still dead or alive or where he was. And then the family member, I had to write a letter to both of them, forgiving them. Because even though I never thought about that, I never talked about it to anyone, I was holding myself hostage in my mind by not ever talking about it or ever addressing it. So the other part of my deliverance was forgiveness. And I had to write a letter to them, forgiving them. One I could actually mail because I knew where he was living in California. And the other one, I just had to write the letter and put it in, kind of like, so to speak, put it in the wind, because I set it on fire after I burnt it. But it was a release. It was a release of me from prison of my mind.
I like how you put that. Release from prison in your mind. That's good.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is, I think when you don't forgive people, you hold yourself hostage.
You absolutely do.
You keep yourself bound to that scenario. That whatever happened, and we all have been hurt, and we all hurt somebody too, right? So we all been on both sides of the fence with this. And I know, I had to learn something with forgiveness that for myself. Sometimes we say, well, I forgave him. Or, it happened yesterday. I forgave him. What happened 10 years ago? And I realized it was one person in my life. Every time I thought of them, they made me mad. You know what I'm saying? And I realized, okay, you know what? I had to forgive this person, right? I don't like what happened, but I still have to forgive him. And every time I thought of him, I had to give myself a different meaning. Pastor Farida, I started saying, every time I thought of them, I said, I forgive them.
You had to.
Right. I don't know how long I did that, 6 months, a year. I don't know. But when they came to my mind, I said, I forgive them. Called their name out. I forgive them. Eventually, I looked up and you know what? They seemed like they were really forgiven. But I did it probably hundreds of times before I got to a place where it didn't impact me or affect me like it did before. So How did you forgive? I know that. What steps can you give the audience on forgiveness?
Well, first of all, I prayed about it, and the Spirit of God was the one who told me I had to write the letters. But I heard a quote, and a lot of people probably have seen it. Bless you, they have probably seen it on Facebook. That says, holding holding a grudge or not forgiving someone or holding a grudge against someone is like you drink the poison and wait for them to die.
Yep, I like that.
And so I learned, because like I said, I had to do a lot of praying. I had to do a lot of soul searching, and to find out, did I really? Well, I knew that I had really forgiven my family member because they came to town for the homegoing service of another of their brother, and I had to see them. But as opposed to, the only thing that I did that would bring that to mind from the time I was 10 up until I was grown is whenever I would see them, I would always go into another room. I would never be around them. And I always made sure I was never alone with them. But this particular time, when they came into town, I was able to laugh and talk with them, and genuinely, and it was really funny because I knew that they had received the letter that I sent them, and I could see them kind of like waiting to see if I was going to say anything or if I was going to react any kind of way.
Right.
But I didn't. I didn't feel any remorse. I didn't feel any anger. I didn't feel anything. Like I said, I was able to laugh and talk with them, joke with them, and move on. And when they left, I knew that I was delivered from that.
Right.
And it wasn't long after that they themselves passed away.
Wow. Forgiveness. Yeah, I like that, because forgiveness is obviously forgiveness is something you can do without a person apologizing. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a person to apologize in order to forgive them. But I think
Nope.
it forges a way for a better life. It doesn't remove what has happened, but it does put you in a place that you can live better after what has happened. So I think that's what forgiveness can do. So, I mean, when you say you prayed about it, because sometimes people go through things. That's why I like the story, because sometimes we don't all go through the same things, which is good, right? Because all of us can't handle everything, right?
Absolutely.
But sometimes we may be going through something and think, well, I can't make it, right? I'm going through whatever I'm going through. And then sometimes when you hear someone else's story, this is one reason why this book was put together, You Can Make It Too, is because I doubt very seriously that one person had all 12 of these things happen to them, right? From 12 different authors.
Right. I hope not. I pray not.
I pray not, right? However, they can say, well, this one thing happened to me, but if this person made it through this, then wow, if they made it through this, then I can make it through what I'm going through.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the power of the story. I mean, I'm glad you wrote your part of the story, because this book has been in many different places, and so has your story, because your story is in the book, and how you say how to forgive and things of that nature. I think a lot of people need to know that. I mean, need to know that you can still make it. You can still go and rectify some things and solve some things and some thoughts in your yesterday to help you out, in your today. And
absolutely,
because that's what you did. Because even though it was 15, 20 years after it happened, I mean, look how free you lived after it happened. After you kind of forgive. I mean, not after it happened, but after you have forgiven some people and addressed it and things of that nature. Look at how well you live and how free you live since that point. So I think that's awesome.
Well, it wouldn't have. I would not be able to do what I ministry wise, or even when I was working, I would not be able to do what I do if I had not. Because, like I said, I can't tell a person I know how you feel or understand what you're going through, because I've been through that. If I haven't actually been through that, I share with people all the time. Don't tell a person that you understand what they're going through, like a husband losing a husband. I can't tell a woman that I understand what she's going through because my husband is still living and breathing. He's here with me.
Right.
I can have empathy for them in their situation. Now, somebody whose mother has passed on, I understand. I don't know how you feel because my feeling is different, but I understand because my mother passed on too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I dislike it when I hear people tell other people that they understand what they're going through, and they haven't been through that.
Right. Right. And I think that's the power of our lives. I think if we can all write the story, none of us will ever go through anything negative. None of us will.
Right.
If we can choose and pick ourselves. However, I think unfortunately the negative is we got to go through some negative stuff, and sometimes at the hands of other people. However, once we learn from those things, and we start empowering ourselves, we start empowering other people.
Mm-hmm.
This is one reason why I orchestrated the book, putting it together. I haven't had all these things happen to me. I had some things happen to me in life, but not these things, right? And I know that I'm trying to help as many people as I can on the planet by any means I can, right?
Absolutely.
So I say, Pastor Verita, why don't you write a chapter so we can inspire people, right? Because somebody need to read it, because I may not, again, say, oh, I know how you feel going through that at 15, because I don't.
Right.
However, someone in the book knows how you feel, and this how they made it.
Right.
So if they can make it, you can make it too.
You can too.
Right. And I think a lot of times when we go through things, we think that we're the only person that's going through it. That's why I think we don't talk about certain things we go through. We think that we're the only person and it can be something minor. Man, I lost $5, and we don't think nobody else on the planet ever lost $5, right? I'm the only person that lost this, or I'm the only person that been through a bad breakup. I'm the only one that maybe didn't listen to my parents. I'm the only one that children don't listen to you or whatever, right? We think that only happens to us, right?
Right.
And I think when more of us start talking about the fact this happened to me, this is what I did to get past this, then it opens the door so more people can say, wow, I thought I was the only person that happened to. Because I think when we keep these secrets, like you stated earlier, sometimes we get into some bad behaviors because of it, right? I really personally, because the business that I do and coaching and all that stuff. And sometimes when you're talking to people that's not 20, they're 40, 50, 60 years old, and they got some bad behavior going on. And a lot of times it's because they haven't addressed something that happened years ago.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to medicate their pain. Now, some people go to doctors and get medication, but then some people go to liquor stores and get medication.
There it is.
Right? Some people go to the grocery stores and get medication, right?
Right.
Some people get the remote and get medication, right? So, because they're trying to escape some things. And we all been there.
Absolutely.
So, I think that's why it's imperative that we look at what we do and things like forgiveness and understanding grief and all those different things to help people out in what they do. So I appreciate you telling that part of the story. So I want to share some other things. So tell us about your experience of actually being a published author now.
Well, it's been interesting. I was glad to be a part of it because it was something that, like I said, I knew I was supposed to be doing. I just was like overwhelmed with thinking, how am I going to do this? And even in finding out and taking classes and stuff, I don't have to do a whole great big 350-page book in order to get published.
Right.
So it was actually a start it was actually a start to something that I knew I was supposed to do, and how to get started with it. So it's been interesting. It's been interesting in the places that I have been able to do book signings or set up a book table, and I have had some feedback. So and that was good. But the people, they enjoyed the entire book, and they say, "Wow, I never would have known that you experienced anything like that." I was like, "Well, it's not something that we broadcast."
Yeah.
But
Walk around.
at the appointed time, when God said, "Right," that's the purpose of it. And then the fact of being the part of a collaboration, that the book has gone some places that I may never get, or I may get there later on, but my name and part of my story is out there.
Right. That's
and
right.
so that's a blessing, because I'm going around the globe, and I'm not physically going around the globe, but virtually I am going around the globe.
Right.
And people know that there's a chapter in a book by this lady named Pastor Verita Quinn, and it was really something.
Yeah, I like that. Well, yeah. So what can people get the book so they can get it?
Well, they can text. I mean, I would say they could go on Facebook and look up Verita D. Quinn Pastor and inbox me if they're interested in the book. They can email me at REMNMIN. That's REMNMIN. REMNMIN @yahoo.com. And they could email me that way, or they can text me at 708-668-6357 and let me know that they're interested in the book, and then I can let them know how they can get a signed copy.
Okay, good. Because you can do this they can do some type of electronic payment, right, with you?
Cash App.
Okay.
And PayPal.
Okay, and then you'll ship the book out to them if they're out of state?
I definitely will. I have shipped several to out of state, to California, Louisiana, and Florida.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So let's go to, this is not a negative side, but let's go to one of the challenges that because, when people do things, right, I've been doing this for a little while, and sometimes people see you doing it, they think, oh, that's easy, right? I mean, if he does it, I can do it. I mean, when my book come out, everybody gonna want it. Right? I mean, I won't even be able to, keep them in my house, but like about 10 minutes, because everybody's gonna want it. So what's some of the challenges that you see that has now got you prepared for when you write your own book, that you are like a step ahead now?
Well, one of my biggest challenges was I thought this was going to be a breeze. When I was like, oh, I'll let everybody know, put it all over Facebook, everything I could. I'm going to be a book in this book collaboration. My first author thing, I said, I just knew everybody was going to want to buy that book. It didn't happen like that. And then I had people saying, well, why are you charging so much for the book? It's just, it was a lot of things. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I got discouraged, because I was like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. But then, I was allowed. I was invited to several different things, and they were. I was told, bring your books, and a couple of them I did good. Then the other ones I sold maybe one or two, and some I didn't sell nothing, you know. So it has its ups and downs, and I guess that's with anything that you dwelled into as far as that. But it has, it has taught me, just have expectations, but don't go overboard with your expectations, because it's not going to be it's not going to spread like wildfire like you first think.
Right.
People got to get used to. People got to know that that you're out there, and some people know you, some people don't. And to be perfectly honest with you, is the people that I know that I thought was going to buy the book that still haven't bought it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a learning experience. So next time I'll know what to expect and what not to expect.
Right. That's one reason why I encourage people to get involved with the collaborations, right? Because sometime again, when they see someone like me do what I do, they say, well, I mean, if he did that and I'm much smarter than that guy, I know that I do it 10 times better than him. And you've known me for a while. You know me when you go through the collaboration. And I said, it's not that easy, right? It's a lot of work. But sometimes I think when people hear me say that, maybe I'm trying to rain on their parade. That's how I think they look at it as. And I'm trying to tell them the truth. Like, listen, let's test this out first. Be involved in the collaboration. Because when you involved with the collaboration, you got 100 copies of the book, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So that you can go out there and make some money, right? And see how, everybody has said, well, I'm going to buy one from you next Friday, and how next Friday turned into like a next year, right? And they still haven't bought one. Right. And and they mean well, but it showed you but it also showed you how many doors you got into because you are an author.
Right.
People that would have never probably invited you places to set tables up, but because you're an author, they did invite you to do some things. And obviously it opens the door. Now, you've been interviewed. I know, not this is your second time. I know about for sure. You probably got interviewed more than that, but you've been interviewed because of what you wrote in the book. So one of the things I was trying to show people, and I still try to show them with any of the collaborations, Pastor Reed, is that look at this as practice.
Yes.
Right? Practice with me.
Yes.
I'm a fair guy, right? I'm a work with you and everything, because I know you're practicing. Because when you come out with your own, it's it's more challenging than you think. And I don't want people to get discouraged, but I want them to be more aware. I think if you have a chance to practice, because your next book, all 12 chapters, 20 chapters, 15, whatever the amount, is going to be all you. And the thing is, now you don't have 11 other salespeople selling the book.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's just me.
It's just you.
It's
right?
me.
So now you have to go back to those people and say, hey, here's my second one. Now I know how to go out and do interviews. I know how to do some things that I didn't know before the collaboration. So I'm glad you were a part of it, and glad you shared, your story with people, because how many people it's helped, and how many people, because here's the interesting thing, right? When you sold the book to people, they didn't just read your chapter.
Right.
They read the other chapters too, right? Well, when someone else sold the book, they didn't just read their chapter, they read yours too.
Yeah.
And that's the power, because, I didn't start with collaborations. I started and just wrote my own. And I said, man, this thing a lot of work. Right?
Yeah. And this is actually my third interview about the book.
About the book. And that's good. Yeah. That's excellent. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that you've done it. And so what's coming next with you? Do you have anything coming next? Like you're gonna be at a certain place speaking or teaching or sharing anything where people can see?
Well, not. I don't have anything right just yet. I'm working on some things that I can have. Possibly have the book and have a book signing, but I don't have anything concrete yet.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But people can send you a friend request on Facebook, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay, so
just let me know it's about the book.
Yeah, right. Don't be just sending friend requests, not letting them know. I understand that. So, tell tell us your Facebook name, and so when people want to send something, a friend request to you, how can they get you?
My Facebook name is Verita D. Quinn Pastor. And on Instagram, I am at Pastor Quinn 1.
Okay, sounds good. And you do speaking engagements and all those good things too, right?
I do. I put together, I do speaking engagements, and I also put together things like seminars and retreats for people.
Hmm. So they can get in touch with you for that if they want you to come out and speak to their groups, and
Yes,
as well as putting together a seminar. I like that. Sounds good.
absolutely. And I also do, if anybody needs a minister to do homegoings, I work out of a funeral home, but I'm independent.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
so like sometimes people don't have a pastor
A
or a
pastor, right?
minister
Yeah,
that they know, and they just they look for somebody to speak over their loved one.
right.
So
That's good to
I do
know.
that too.
Yeah, because sometimes
Yes,
everybody don't have church homes,
right.
and so they right, they don't have always have a pastor. So one more time, give us the information. We want to purchase the book from you. That we're gonna get a signed copy and all that. So where do we get that from you?
Okay. The email address is REMN, like in Nancy, MIN at yahoo.com, or they can contact me on Facebook at Verita D. Quinn Pastor, or on Instagram at Pastor Quinn 1. And
Okay.
then or they can text me at 708-668-6357.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Pastor Verita, it's been a pleasure and it's been an honor for me to interview you on your
It's
story.
been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad you were able to share it not only just in the book, but share with the listening audience in here on IntellectualRadio.com. So I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your evening and sharing with us.
Well, I thank you for the opportunity to be there, and I hope the listeners got something out of it.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go for the evening. I do appreciate you again. And we will definitely be talking again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you. You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. So that was again Pastor Verita Quinn. She wrote in the book You Can Make It Too. You can get the book from her with her information. She's chapter 9 in the book. This is one of the collaborations that I actually spearheaded and helped some people get published. So I got a couple of minutes, uh, 1 minute. So let me just share with you some of the things we have going on. April 13th, Saturday, 2019, 2:30 to 5:30, the business showcase, Lakeshore Hotel, 4900 South Lakeshore Drive. April 27th, 2019, Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, speaker showcase. May 4th, 2019, Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, the business showcase. May 18th, 2019, Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, the author showcase. And then June 8th, um, Saturday, 2:30 to 5:30, a business showcase. And June 22nd, Saturday, author showcase. Be listening for my show on Sunday, 1 o'clock here on Intellectual Radio. We are out the book, Becoming a Better Me. We're actually going to be, it's a coaching session, a book club, and a self help class all wrapped into one so that you can learn how to be a better you. So every month we got a different topic, and this next month, or the month of April, it's Becoming a Better Me. Look forward to that. Make sure you contact our promoting partners that I shared with you at the beginning of the show. If you want to advertise your business on the show, get with me. I have spots available for May that I will be doing some promoting other people. You want me to pass out and distribute your business card at some of our events, get in contact with me. You can go to drtonygan@gmail.com, or you can hit me up at 773-984-9848. Again, it's been an awesome time to be here with you all today. I do appreciate you all taking the time to listen. And always remember, keep in mind that great authors aren't born, they're made. I'll see you next time.